Hey Pinterest, I just wanted to show you guys the next step in your batik project. So hopefully you are all to this point where you have drawn on your fabric and you've traced over all of your, drawn on your paper, put your fabric over it and traced over all of your pencil lines with your clear glue. Now, once that's dry, that paper is going to stick to the back of your fabric. So if that happened, don't worry about it. We're going to pull it off in a little while, and whatever is still stuck to it will get taken off when we wash it at the very end. So don't worry about that. Okay, so once you're to this point, you are ready to paint your project. Now, with the batik, everywhere that you have that clear glue is going to stay white, okay? So we're going to paint over your whole fabric, and everywhere that there's glue, when we wash it, will stay white, okay? So you have complete freedom on how you want to paint your batik. If you've done a landscape or you've done a picture of something very specific, you may want to paint in each little individual item a certain color, and that's great, okay? If you've done a design, you may want to paint inside the different sections of your design with different colors. So you get to decide what you want your colors to be, but your whole fabric needs to be covered with paint. So think about your background. Make sure you have some kind of color in the background, whether it's solid or it could be a mixture of colors, whatever you decide, but your whole fabric needs to be covered. Now, once we wash it, this one has been washed and dried, and so where you see the white on my canvas, that is where the glue was. And once we wash it, the glue washes out, so it goes away, and what's left is just the white fabric, okay? So the glue kind of protects it. It creates a barrier between the fabric and the paint. Okay, so I am ready to paint, and if you remember, I did some like botanical leaf designs, and so I want to use a combination of some blues and greens. So I've got my colors right here mixed, ready to go. So I've got a variety of greens, and I've got some cooler blues and purple colors that I want to use for my background between my leaves. That way the leaves stand out. If you don't have a selection of a lot of colors to choose from, remember that you can do some mixing. So you can use, if you wanted a variety of greens, you can use some yellows in with some greens. You can use some blues in with some greens to create a wide variety of different shades of greens. So, going to get my paintbrush here, and I am just going to begin painting. I'm going to start with my background first, that way I can really see where my leaves are. And so I'm going to use a variety of blues and purples, and I could even mix some of those together to create more shades. So I'm just mixing a little purple and blue together to create another shade. And I'm just going to begin to lay next to each other the different shades of blues and purples. And I'm kind of going for almost kind of like a tie-dye look. And I'm just crisscrossing the different colors on my fabric. I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see I've got a variety of different shades of blues and purples between my leaves there, okay? So I would just keep going with that. Once I've got my background done, I'm gonna go ahead and wash my brush. Let's say I have my whole background done. Now I'm going to work on my leaves. Now my leaves are a little bit more specific of an object, so I'm going to be a little bit more precise in how I color that in. I've got some different little patterns inside my leaves, and so I'm going to use the different colors to accentuate those patterns. And so I'm going to start with one color, layering. I'm going to put another color inside that. Okay. Again, you can get real specific in your painting, or you can keep it more abstract. But for my leaves, I wanted a nice variety of layers of color. Like I said, to accentuate those different patterns. Do a little bit more, add in some of this darker green in between my leaf patterns. And you can go ahead and paint like right up to or even over where that glue is, because like I said, it's going to protect your fabric. All right, and then I haven't used any of this green. So I'm gonna add in just a little striation, just a little wisps of that color in there. For a little shading. So everywhere that is not glued, that color is going to stay on that fabric just as you painted it. So make sure all that part, just doing a little blending, looks the way you want it to be. Okay, so let me show you this. Okay. So there's a little bit more detail you can see now inside my leaf pods. You can really see the different colors. And then my background, I'm doing a little bit more abstract with a variety of blues and purples. All right, get this back up. Okay, so you're gonna paint your whole fabric. Make sure you paint all the way to the edges. And when you have that all finished, check back for the last step of your project. Talk to you soon. Bye.